Go ahead.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the September 16th meeting of the Fairport Office of Community and Economic Development, the Local Development Corporation. We have a full agenda today. So I'm here to ask, is there any public comment? Hearing none. Let's approve the minutes from last month, and then we'll move into new business.
I will move approval.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, opposed? Motion carries. I have to abstain. I wasn't here.
You don't have to
We
abstain.
don't have to abstain
Nope.
anymore. Very nice. Thank
You
you.
don't.
You don't have to abstain.
Okay.
Because I was also
Oh.
not here.
Got it.
Okay.
Let's move to new business. We have the Railroad Street Artworks group here to talk about the new addition to our community.
So this is a brief presentation just to introduce you to what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then I do have packets that I will send home with you with a whole bunch more detail.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do I have to stand in any specific
No, you
place?
don't. No microphones are on. So
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
So whatever
I'll
you
still
feel comfortable.
stand here
All
only
right.
because it'll be easier to go through.
Yeah.
So as you see, Railroad Street Artworks.
Well, this is Pam Renfro.
Oh, I'm sorry, Pam Renfro.
The Village Dynamo. So.
Pam Renfro, and I have with me here
Mhm.
today is Lori Terranova, Nikki Bittner, and Scott Nost. All are part of our artist members. We have Jeff Tokars, who would be here. I know if he could be, but he's in Portugal. So he
Also
can't.
Kevin.
Kevin?
Kevin?
Kevin Clark's in Portugal right now.
Huh.
Are they on the same trip?
Maybe.
Your
And
ears are
then,
ringing.
yes, and then there's a couple of other board members that were not able to be here. So Railroad Street Artworks, just to give you a brief introduction before we get into this, in February, Chris Casa, who is the owner of the box factory and the building that Junction 361 is in, 24, I think it's 24 North Main.
Mhm.
He approached Nancy Regis and I. We sit in the office in the box factory, and Chris is in there quite often. And he said, I have this space opening up on Railroad Street. I'd like you to take a look at it and see what you think you'd like to do with it. So went over and we're like, oh my goodness, this is incredible. I got in touch with a few people. We got together, really not until end of April, beginning of May, and said, what do we think? And in the time between February and our first meeting, Martha had been in here, Fairport Public Art Committee had been in there, just all sorts of people saying, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think we should do with this space? And it kept coming back to, in some form or fashion, visual arts. That was a piece that is missing, I guess I would say. We certainly have, Faircraft Brauhaus, and we have Junction 361 that regularly show art. Trip Hammer has had art shows, sales in there. And so there have been those sorts of offerings, but to have something that was always available was really what I heard over and over again. I met with Gina Managimelli, who is at SUNY Brockport, the SBDC, Small Business Development Center. And she did some research for me that you'll see is in the packets that I'm going to give you about how, art is the purchasing of art, having small art galleries is really the way the art world is moving, I guess I would say. I did some research myself and found that to be this also is that there's many small art galleries that have been established and are thriving, especially if they are for local and regional art, and especially if they are juried,
Yes.
that there's a level of expertise that is required. I am not an artist at all, so I rely heavily on the people who are artists and are part of art galleries, have been in juried shows. So I am really more the business end of the whole thing. So with all that being said, moving right into the first page is about our mission. This has taken many different forms, but this is where we've landed. Railroad Street, and I'm going to read it only because to say it aloud is, I think, powerful. Railroad Street Artworks is committed to fostering a vibrant, welcoming, and supportive community of artists, art lovers, and art curious from all backgrounds, abilities, and aspirations, where they can gather, learn about, and experience the creation of art in its many forms. Railroad Street Artworks is dedicated to creating a welcoming, inclusive, and empowering space for all creatives to thrive, collaborate, and contribute to the cultural and artistic enrichment of our local community. So though the art hanging on the walls is going to be largely juried, the rest of the space, and we'll go into that a little bit more, is definitely going to be inclusive. Also, we do have a plan, again, you'll see in the business plan, a plan to include student art and emerging artists. And we'll thoughtfully do that working with the school district, Fairport High School. We have a connection with Kat is Pittsburgh-Mendon, Pittsburgh-Sutherland. So we will be including student art on the walls as well. So the first space that we have, and really this is the space that is up and going, is our exhibition space. It's the gallery space. As you'll see, we've got this planogram here that Scott came up with that kind of helps us see 6-foot sections, 3-foot sections, because the way that we are creating revenue is we rent the wall space in 3 linear feet. You'll see on the photo there that though the one wall is 6 linear feet, there are 6 pieces of art in the one that's facing right there. So the artists are welcome to put multiple pieces, but they are renting 6 linear feet or 3 linear feet. We currently have 30 signed artists, which actually is amazing. And they're 30 excited artists. How many, I don't know, how many people would you say are new to hanging art on the walls? Half of them?
At least half.
Yeah. Yeah. They've come in and they've said, oh my goodness, I feel like I've found my home. I found my people. We have, in addition to that, we have 11 applications that are in process. One note about the artists that are on the walls already. We were able to get their pieces up on the wall quickly because they are all artists that have been in juried shows. They have won awards. They have met a criteria. What we have in the 11 applications in process, there are some brand new people in that group. And for those people, we have created or are in the process of creating a jury of both folks that are in the gallery already, some of the more well-known artists, and then we're going to have some lay persons from outside that will help decide on the new artists who we will include. So there will be a jurying process for the people that haven't already met a standard. Again, I am parroting things that these people have told me. So the next space is the education and classroom space. And to be really honest, this is, I mean, I'm very excited about the gallery, so excited about the gallery. But from a personal standpoint and just from the community standpoint, this is the space that I'm really excited about, is the education or classroom space. And what you'll see on the next page is Scott, who is kind of leading the charge on classroom revenue, classroom scheduling, is a classroom projected revenue. And what we're showing you here in the top left-hand corner is that if we have 10 classes a week, Monday through Friday, 2-hour class blocks, we rent it to we collect $30 from the instructor, that will net us $15,600 a year. We currently have, again, I'm going to turn to the folks that have more knowledge than I, of the people that are hanging in our gallery, how many are interested in teaching?
Oh.
Yeah. We have more than enough teachers to do 10, 20.
Yeah, I think that screenshot was just showing 2 classes a day.
Yeah.
2 classes a day will triple our projection for income for the year.
Right.
And I'll teach 2 classes a day. One thing that we didn't talk about yesterday, I'll keep it quick, is the number of unique visitors that a small number of classes will bring to Fairport. Multiplication is an awesome thing when you're on the right side of it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, like 4 classes a day. It's like 150
Mm-hmm.
unique visitors a week.
Right.
Fairport.
Right. That'll drink coffee from our coffee shops and eat lunch or dinner in our restaurants. That's also the gallery piece, the economic piece. Obviously, there is just come to Fairport, go to the gallery, go out to dinner, get ice cream.
I've already done that, brought in friends and done that.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, yes. We've had, I would say we've had out of, I don't know, I think we've had 60 to 70 people sign in, giving us their emails. I would say probably at least 10% of them have returned already a couple times. So yes, it definitely classes are going to be an economic driver. And then the third space that we have is the event or multi-purpose space. It's huge, and this is the space that we are going to be figuring out exactly what it wants to be. Right now, we've put into our financials very minimal revenue from this space. We have a couple of groups that are interested in Christmas parties. We have groups already that are interested in doing something in the space, but we're very hesitant to overly book it at this point, because as soon as we book this space, it then makes our classroom space something that we have to work the calendar so that it works for everyone.
And the facility also includes a catering kitchen, would you call it?
Yep. Mhm.
So it's already hosted a memorial gathering,
Mhm.
and so it's
Yeah.
multifunctional.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, and I didn't include the picture of the
The
bathroom.
fancy bathroom.
Yes,
We have
yes.
we have a it's
It
pretty
is
cool.
a very cool
The
thing.
bathroom alone is a drop.
Yes,
Oh,
Yes.
exactly.
you've got to,
Like,
I'm sure it's on the Instagram.
Wait, we called it,
It's on Facebook, it's on Instagram.
we call it our high drama bathroom.
interest.
If you're gonna look at the art, you have to look at the bathroom.
They'll keep coming back.
No, but the kitchen, we will not ever cooking food in there. It doesn't have a stove, but it has a refrigerator. It will be a catering kitchen, because that limits our
Mhm.
exposure, and we'll only use licensed catering companies. So then the final page is our board of directors. As you'll see, it was formed August 26th, so it's just been born. We are a nonprofit corporation. At this point, we are not a 501c3. I am meeting on Thursday of this week with Gina Managemelli. She knows of, it is the Western New York Legal yada, da, da, da. It's in the information that I'm going to be giving you. They are a service that helps nonprofits establish their 501c3 for free. They will work with us, which is $8,000 to $10,000 offering to us. So we have our board of directors, and we have organized ourselves into committees. We do have Lisa Knight, who is an advisory member. She is currently a grant writer for the University of Rochester. She was previously a grant writer for and a development person for the Parenting Ambulance, but she's now at the University of Rochester. She is out there looking for and has already provided a list of grants that we could look to secure. We are currently for a 501c3 for fundraising. We're currently working through the Fairport Foundation because they are a 501c3 organization, and so they are collaborative. We are a collaborative client of theirs, and they work with several organizations, I would say, in our community, like Learning Links, and doing the same thing. Working as the fiduciary, I guess, oversight.
I just wanted to offer some comments about why I asked Pam and everyone to come in today, because I'm very impressed with what they've accomplished in a very short amount of time. And you've got a tremendous amount of community support right from the landlord, who is been very gracious and generous with all of his time and redoing the space and all of that kind of thing. They're very thoughtful. You'll see later there's a business plan that they've put forth. As with all, they're looking for some assistance, some partners to help them get off the ground. But I think it's an important component of our complete community strategy, whereas the creative class is an economic driver in and of itself. And we can see the enthusiasm of that our public art installations are gaining more and more, and people are recognizing them. I think it's important that we take a look at this. I have been talking with Pam about the opportunity to be the sole sponsor for their grand opening event. But there's also a very thoughtful business plan where I would like, we'll talk about it over the next month or so.
Yep.
To try to figure out. There's hurdles and so forth, but I'm very, very encouraged about the group they've put together and the base that they've built to this point. It is not a fly-by-night. It is not an arts and crafts place. It is a serious art gallery that will draw people.
And these folks here, plus the ones that are not here, have just put in hours and hours and hours of work to bring this.
And I think Leslie, you've been to the space, right? What was your impression?
Honestly, I was overwhelmed by how big it was. I don't know why, but I did not expect room after room after room, which was impressive. And I kept thinking, what are they going to do here? What are they going to do in this space?
It's just a little over 3,200 square feet. And going back to Chris Casa, the landlord, he has offered it to us at a cost per square foot that we would not match any place else.
Certainly not in the village of Fairport.
No. And I really think that is key for this, is to have it be someplace that is located in a place that's walkable, where there's many other businesses around it that people can come to a class. Oh, Mescalata, didn't know they were here, just so that they're really exposed to everything here.
With the painting, pottery, and the theater group there's Spotlight, and now it's a little arts corridor.
Right, exactly. We have spoken to Sarah, who owns all of the storage units, and she's interested in us exploring having each one of the doors be
that's a great idea.
an art installation. That's a ways down. I mean, we have many conversations that we have to have about that, but we're just seeing that, yes, it could grow, the whole thing, the whole area could grow into being just feeling very creative and,
As a person who's lived here all my life, that street, it'll put us on the map.
yes.
We just really, it would, as you say, make that the art corridor.
Right.
So I just envision this as just being something that people will really want to go see and go, oh yeah, Railroad Street instead of Railroad Street.
Right.
Right.
Yes,
Then
many
we-
people don't know.
They don't-
They'll
Right.
say Railroad Street, what do you,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like, yeah, the DPW is at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah.
Now we want them to say Railroad Street Artworks
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
is down there.
Pam and I have been in, I have loved getting to meet the artists and speaking with them. I think it's just so great that many times, at least two of the artists are there.
Mhm.
I think it's so great. And that's such a nice, a layer to the art and seeing it and getting the artist's perspective and learning about their lives and
Right.
really cool.
Yes. We're, as I said, we're up to 30 artists now, and we ask all of the artists to work 2, 3, 4-hour shifts per month. We have 27 possible sitting slots, so it will allow us to have 2 artists there for every shift, which will be a benefit because of where it's located, especially in the winter, and when it gets dark early. But also, just to what you're saying, is that if you can go in there and speak to the artists, that is, and especially if you can have 2.
Right. It's unusual. You
Yeah.
don't always get that.
Right.
Right.
Right. You'll also see in the business plan on the revenue pages that we did just recently secure the Rochester Art Club, correct? They were in Hungerford. Scott, do you know how many members they have?
I think they've got about 200.
Right.
And maybe 170 active members.
Okay, so they moved out of Hungerford into the Feddersen building downtown, and they are going to, we are going to have them store some of their equipment in our space. So now we are going to become the home, I guess I would say. So right there is another 175 to 200 people that will be coming into the area.
And part of the benefit to that relationship is they have quality equipment that you're able to use, the easels and things, lighting and that type of thing. It's a cooperative agreement between the two.
Yes, exactly,
So,
exactly,
yeah.
yes, yes. And we have already, for the student art piece, we've already spoken to 2 banks and a realtor, and we're just developing the sponsorship paperwork, but we've already got people that are interested in sponsoring student art. The idea there is the art teacher in the school will recommend, this is the student that will be on the wall this month. Put them up, it says this art sponsored by such and such bank. And what that will do for us is that will create, if every month we have 3 new student artists on the wall, then that's their moms, dads, grandpas, grandmas,
Friends, everybody.
Yeah.
friends, everyone.
Yes.
And it'll bring in like the younger,
Oh,
a younger population, which is, again, who we really want to make sure that they feel like this is a place where they could be mentored, included, mentored,
Oh, yeah.
because we want this to definitely support not just the artists that have been around for a while, but new.
We have had a bunch of younger kids come in, all excited about art and look around multiple times.
Yes,
I think it's so cool. My kids take classes down at MAG. They're like 8 and 10, and it's to have something here. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Like I get chills thinking about being like a walkable gallery that, for my son who loves art, to be able to just be a part of the community and get to know the artists and grow up with that.
Their confidence.
Yeah.
self-esteem.
Oh, it's like,
So good for
it's
them.
so great.
Yeah.
And anytime we travel anywhere, one of the first things we do is go find a gallery. So your point of saying it puts us on the map, I mean, that's like one of the things people do to make it a destination and
Right.
have.
art galleries,
Yeah.
independent bookstores, independent coffee shops, yarn stores.
Yeah. That's a,
Yep,
that was a
we
new
got
thing
that.
to me, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, definitely.
And there wasn't a lot for, high schoolers, in my opinion. There was always, like they would do little exhibition things for, younger kids, but the high schoolers, I never felt like they really had a place.
Right.
So now, they'll really have a gallery.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as a destination, there's galleries around town, there are classroom spaces around town, and there's event spaces around town. There's nowhere that has all three. And to figure out a way that all three of the facets co-support each other, people come in and they just wanna talk about the possibilities. And just keep saying, yeah, you can do it.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. The other, for the artist, is that they will be able to, we have our set hours, but then the artists that we have signed contracts with, they will be able to access the space whenever. So that if Nikki has someone that's interested in one of her pieces, she can get in there, at any point in time, Scott, Lori, so that they can sit, talk about their art, sell their art.
And you have sold art.
Oh, yes, we paid out $2,056 beginning of September.
Nice.
That for art. And basically what's happening is it's sold through the gallery. And then we write checks at the end of the month and on the 15th of the month for any sales that have taken place. We're taking care of the Railroad Street we are have a sales tax. So we're taking care of the sales tax. The only thing that we charge the artist is the 3% for credit card handling. So again, that's another advantage because of our model. We are able to, we don't take the 30-40% that some other places need to take. So that's a model that we're moving forward with too.
When is your grand opening?
October 12th. Saturday, October 12th.
Got it.
From 12 to 6. We're participating in Scarecrow Festival.
We'll have a scarecrow.
We will have a scarecrow. We will have a scarecrow. No, that's the other thing is we want to participate in all of the events that are around here, both to support them and to just be part of the community.
Is the plein air still happening at the Land House this year?
No, it's gonna be at Faircraft Brauhaus again. Last year it was at Faircraft, and the space is much bigger, and I think it was well received. And I believe the plein air is tripled the number of participants this year.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
It's almost tripled. Well, maybe not, maybe
Right.
doubled certainly.
It certainly increased.
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I've been racking my brain over here for 15 minutes. Where's the closest dedicated gallery to where we sit right now, but for this initiative?
Pittsburgh.
Really,
Pittsburgh.
but they're so much smaller. They don't have the facility we do. They don't have, I don't know, I'm not familiar with it.
Just the gallery, probably Pittsburgh Fine Arts, right in the four corners.
Okay.
Of Pittsburgh, right there.
There's one in Honeywood, I think. Honeywood, is there a gallery?
Yeah, I couldn't.
And then of course in Rochester.
Yeah,
there
Of
are-
Right.
course, downtown, but yeah,
Yeah.
this is a great gap fill, if you will. There's an opening.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That is a welcome
Yeah.
addition.
And we're here.
We've got artists installed down there as far Hilton. I mean, that's a commitment to just come in to town.
You bet.
I need a cup of coffee. But, look down on the far side of the Finger Lakes. It's a commitment coming up here. And these artists are thrilled to have the opportunity.
That's great.
Yeah,
And it's a beautiful
awesome.
space. When they walk in and they're like, oh my goodness.
It's a surprise
Yes.
when you pull up
Right,
to
high
it.
ceilings, it's beautiful in there.
Mhm.
And again, much of that is thanks to Chris put in a brand new floor. He painted all the walls. He took care of and really made the space for us. We just basically had to put up the hanging, and the track lights. He even installed the tracks. We just had to purchase the lights for it, so.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you very much.
Super
you.
exciting.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
thank you for coming in.
Well, thanks for having us.
Nice to meet you.
I knew this was coming.
Oh, I've got one. Yeah,
Okay, you too.
yeah.
I'm good.
We'll need
Thank
one for Kevin, maybe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, thanks.
Here, I'll give you this one.
Okay, perfect. There's a lot in there. That's why what I meant about a thoughtful business plan.
Yeah,
And
this like
there's
super organized.
a lot of discussion to be
Oh,
had
definitely, and, yeah,
about how we.
questions arise. This business plan that's before you has, like, this has to be, at least the 8th revision.
Yeah.
So if you see things that are inconsistent, please, feel free to ask me, because
Right.
it's gone through as we fine tune what we were going to be doing and how we were going to be doing
Right.
it.
And you've got some good people. You do have some non-artists that have more of an accounting brain
Oh,
involved.
definitely. We have Bonadio we're working with for tax, our tax. We do have legal. I don't have that name top of mind, but we do have legal representation for our bylaws and all of that. So making sure that we have those critical pieces in place too. Because we need them for business, but also whenever you are applying for grants, we need to make sure that we have all of our I's dotted and our T's crossed.
Mhm.
Oh, good. Yeah, Lori did that. So good.
Great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We'll be talking.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh, it's fine.
Thanks again, everybody.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really exciting.
It is. It's very exciting. It's very serious. It's a serious art gallery. And I love that it's juried.
Yeah.
It has a lot of positives.
It's bringing some seriousness to the village, which I feel like is a good addition, to that, to what we're
Yes.
coming to see.
But with real authenticity too.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Incredible.
Yes. Good. Good.
Is there an ask on the table?
Not today.
Okay.
No, not today. We've been talking. I've met with Pam and with Gabe McNaughton. Some of you know Gabe from Junction 361, and he's working on the numbers quite a bit. So we have to talk quite a bit about how we might be able to participate. So we don't have an ask today.
What is the draw with the restroom?
I'm sorry?
What's the draw with the
You'll
restroom?
have to search it out on Instagram or Facebook and find. No, it's just very clever
smash
and
that like button.
yes,
There you go.
exactly. Follow them on Facebook and all that. So yeah. Yes.
Well, between now and the 12th, the next meeting is the government committee meeting.
Governance.
Governance committee on the 26th. Is that the time when we'll talk about this?
Maybe not. Maybe
Okay.
maybe when you get through there, you'll see it does require some good thought. So
Okay.
we're not going to rush it. They're not rushing it either. They are undertaking their fundraising efforts, independent
Spreading,
of
yeah.
any ask. So, okay.
All right.
And I encourage everyone to stop in if you haven't, or stop in again.
Right, and spread the word for sponsorship opportunities for
Yes.
other people, right?
Yes.
Got it. All right, since we're in new business, let's take care of the calendar
Sure.
of the second item. Next calendar year.
Right. So that's the last page in your packet. This is a draft calendar. The 28th is our next meeting in October. We had to shift it a week because I'm going to ask the board to approve me going out of town. And then on the January, February, our normal third Mondays fall on holidays. So we typically are accommodating to those things. So those are highlighted there for you. for
Are those the due
discussion.
dates, Martha, or is that?
That's the
is that
date it
Tuesday or is
falls
that the
on.
Monday, okay.
That's the Monday.
Got it.
That's the Monday.
For October?
No, for January and
Oh, sorry,
February.
okay. So
Can
the
we move-
October date is the proposed,
That, I'm just pushing it out 1 week.
okay, great.
I
That's already in our calendar.
I have another IDA meeting that meeting. Could we do it the Tuesday, or do you want to, Veronica?
On October, you mean?
Yeah, October, yeah.
Let's talk.
Okay.
See what's on the agenda.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Can we look at
Noted.
January and see,
Mhm.
that's, Monday's the 20th, can we? do
Monday
it on
the-
the 21st?
Right.
Or do we have to push it back the following week to accommodate whatever else might be happening in the space?
Well, I may be in DC for the inauguration as well.
So you may be?
Depends.
Depending on
Depends.
that.
Depends how it goes.
Weather dependent.
And yes. Of note, the chair will not be present in January or February as well, so we don't need to accommodate his calendar.
Okay.
But we are, the third Monday would be the 20th.
Okay, do we want to shift that?
Do we want to move to the 13th or the 27th, a week ahead, a week behind?
I don't care, I'm fine with doing,
You know,
Either of
it's if
those.
any of us are trekking to DC for the inauguration, it could be historic.
27?
13 or 27?
13? I mean, honestly, either one, we need more time for anything, or? I'm trying to think of when are breaks? Is there any
Well, the
breaks?
break is in February.
The break is February.
February, okay, good.
And President's Day is or
Spring break's not.
April.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
village board meeting would typically take place on the 13th, the Monday, the
All right,
13th.
so let's go to the
What
27th.
if we do the 27th and then push the other one back 1 week as well?
All right, so January 27.
Change my date then.
Is she gonna send invites, or should I be putting it in my?
I'll send out an
You'll send
invite.
out.
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
I'll just confirm I'm
Yeah,
open.
that you're open, right.
And let's go
And
to
then
February
February,
would be, that's the
That's the
17th.
is that the one that has the recess? Yeah, I think I
That's
noted the
school
recess.
break week.
Yes.
So
Yep.
So move it out to the
Yeah,
24th?
way better, yeah.
that's not a village board meeting time?
No. Or do you do workshops?
Second and fourth Mondays.
Okay, so the fourth Monday in both those situations, we'll have to go back to January because
So we move
where
be
that would
workshopping?
conflict with the work session.
So that means either of those Mondays would though.
So we could
Right.
do it on,
Tuesday the 11th, Tuesday the 25th.
oh, well, should we actually have to fix January too, because it would be a
All right,
work
let's go back
session.
to January.
Yes.
I'm fine on Tuesday, if we move it to the 14th or 28th.
You're being
as
awful
well.
quiet over there.
Oh, yeah, Tuesdays are gonna be hard for me.
Okay.
Tuesdays are hard, okay.
Are they hard?
Then-
Are they hard for in-person attendance or if you were? in
Yes,
Zoom?
they're just in-person attendance, but virtual.
Now, it's January, well, okay, yeah.
I could, if we have to move both of them on Tuesday, I could probably,
Do Zoom.
if we just move one, I could probably make it work. If we move two, I probably can't make it work then.
I can't make both of them. work.
Right, both Tuesdays.
And the reason for the problem with the workshop is because they use this room?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Can we use
I mean,
the
we
smaller?
could
Go.
just go into the other room.
I mean, I don't care.
On the Monday?
On the
Meeting
Mondays?
there?
On the 27th in the small room?
Keep
Yeah.
it
You
at
guys
the
don't, do you
27th?
care for it there?
Let's keep it at the 27th and use the small room.
Yeah,
Okay,
I like the small room.
January 27th
That's where we.
and February 24th,
Okay.
right?
Great.
Okay.
February 24th.
I won't be there.
I'm not gonna miss that. She's gonna-
I put them all on my calendar.
All right.
We're normal for or
Yes, we should be normal for the rest of the time.
Yes. Mhm.
March 19th? That's a when?
Wednesday.
It is? Did I mess that up?
Yeah, I do see that as a Wednesday.
Oh, it's March 17th. That's what
But we can't do that.
threw me off, right?
I-
Oh my
But
goodness.
Well, that's our normal
Yeah,
date,
St.
March
Patrick's Day.
17th,
Well,
right?
I know we'll be
We
doing
just go out
after.
There you go.
Are the other dates correct?
Let's hope, April 23rd.
First, May
23rd.
May 19th. It should be May 19th. Ugh.
Okay.
June is good.
June is okay?
June
Yeah,
16,
July's
yeah.
good.
August 18. Well, back to September.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have January 27, February 24, March 17, May 19.
Yep.
Okay,
April 21 is good.
okay.
Well, thank goodness we talked that through.
Yes, yes. So we'll need a motion to adopt the calendar.
I'll move to adopt the calendar as revised.
Mm-hmm.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, let's go back to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Did we approve the minutes already?
Yes.
We did. Let's look at the finances.
So I reviewed the finances and I would recommend moving their approval.
Is there a motion? Any questions?
I'll second her motion.
Any questions?
Any questions?
I don't think any
No.
questions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Cash balances as loan status report.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions on the facade grants?
I will note on the facade grants, some of these are aging. Let me see who I most recently paid. Oh, I paid out the $10,000 to Blair Anderson on Amblin on the Another Chapter bookstore. I just did that September 12th, and of course we know we did Tony Pitnero last time. We've got Machetes is still hanging around. He hopes to have an October delivery. We had originally said 9 months. Life happens. The Land House, they hope to be finished by 9:30. They are doing their exterior porch.
Will there be a porch dedication event that we should be attending?
Clearly, it will require an on-site
Person-
inspection.
inspection.
For sure.
Absolutely.
To make sure it works.
About 5 o'clock. Sterling West, that's the Moonlight Creamery building. He's having difficulty with the windows, so I did extend him through 12/31. And then we have Josephine Jane. That is originally expired, September of 24, but clearly they've just undergone construction, so that's essentially a 12/31. The goal was to wrap it up in the fiscal year, but it's just not possible, and so. Scuritolo's is almost complete. Junction 361 are just waiting for some finer details on their patio space. And then we've got the automatic door openers for both the Box Factory and Junction 361 building. But we will not be accepting applications after September 30. This program was well oversubscribed, but better results. And so we're wrapping that down. We've had that on social media. We contacted people directly. It's on our website. So in total, we've allocated $115,000. But people have invested over $470,000.
That's great.
So that's good.
And it should be wrapped up by the end of the calendar year?
But yes, that's the expectation. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Is there any old business?
I didn't have any for the LDC. No.
So move to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Let's go to the IDA next. Call to order the meeting of the Fairport Industrial Development Agency for September 16th. Is there any public comment? We move to approve the minutes.
I'll move approval.
Second. All those in favor? Any discussion? Let's go back to the any discussion. Good, next step. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Let's take a look at the financial reports. Authorizing the payment of bills.
I reviewed the bills and I would recommend moving their payment.
I will second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So moved. Cash balances. Any questions or information, Martha?
No, we've made our contract payment to Wayside for the project at Thomas Creek, less a retainage. We'll see a little supplemental work later for them, but that's, so the reserve we had, or the allocation we had on has been removed because that has been paid.
Take a look at the P&Ls. And our investment report, anything we need to know?
I presented it 2 ways and wondered which way you preferred.
I like both of them.
I know.
I mean, they both have different information.
Okay, I can include both.
I was chuckling because I wanted both. I like
Sure.
I like the visual graphs, but I like on kind of the B,
Yeah.
but I like the detail of it.
Easy, I can do that, no problem.
And the Thomas Creek wetlands,
Right.
we've got some more work to do there.
Right, hopefully I passed out, did I pass it out to you, the supplemental work? So as what I've broken it up as, the manhole, that was not on anyone's drawings. It's so old. It was not on maps, plans, drawings. It was uncovered when Paul put the shovel in the dirt. And now we have to, DPW is asking us to bring it up to grade. Paul has doped out for us a couple of different options that are less expensive. But we'll talk about the total that Paul Sorbello at Wayside has outlined for us, with the hope that we'll be able to save some monies, once DPW approves the use of the alternate materials. So that's $35.80 for the manhole. FMC, when the project was complete, they, rather than let us just put bollards around the pole, they decided to move the pole. So they relocated it, meaning we had to now refigure the parking lot and refill the boxing out of the soil and replacing it and stone dusting, those types of things. That comes in at about $850 for that, but that's not so bad. DPW, it's funny when you see a project, Jennifer, you see a project on paper and then you're standing in it in reality and things look different and it feels different. DPW's requested that we plant a maple tree at the entrance to the wetlands. If you recall, there's the road goes to the right and the wetlands to the front. There used to be the metal guardrails. Those were removed. So they need, for snow plowing purposes, a more visual marker for where where the road ends. So they asked us to plant a Armstrong maple. And also some of the boulders need to be relocated to allow for snow. They push up on, there's a certain area where they pile up snow when they're plowing back there. And so the DPW is about $1,400. And then the other things that we're looking at is, with an arrow and refiguring the parking spaces again, because the pole got moved, that's another $1,100. So we're looking at either $69.85 if the, we have to get the DPW to approve the materials, or $52.55 or $49.30. And that's to finish off the project.
What determines option 1 or 2, just what they approve?
What the DPW accepts. Yeah, Paul he's one of them, it looked like a great option. He sent me a YouTube video and all that type of thing. And it's apparently not often used, this manhole cover, because nobody knew it was there. So we may be able to get those other things at a much lower cost. So, but I would need approval to authorize that work.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second, but I definitely want to discuss something. So we're approving potentially the $7,000 total,
Yes,
but potentially 1A or 1B.
correct.
Okay.
Up to the 7,000.
Up to.
I think is what we're approving,
Okay.
depending on all those variables.
And we'll just find out ultimately what it is after we hear back related to the options.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah,
Mark,
so-
can we get this charged to the 6170 repairs and maintenance?
No, we'll actually capitalize it because it's a capital improvement, most of this.
Okay.
The monies that we spent out there do not flow through the expense statement. They're on our balance sheet. So it becomes a capital asset. Mm-hmm.
I mean, and, you know, when we look at the totality of what we're investing in this wetlands area, even though it looks like a big number today, because we thought we were gonna be done.
Okay.
The finish isn't right.
I did see on Facebook today, I think it's Lori and Aaron Photography were showcasing this family photo shoot they were doing at the Thomas Creek Wetlands, which was
Cool.
nice.
I like to see all the senior pictures.
The
and
senior
that,
pictures and,
You
mhm.
know,
Yep. So I don't know if we voted.
So.
No, not yet.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Approved.
Thank you.
New business,
Mm-hmm.
DOT. Is
Great.
looking for easement or allocation of some property.
Right.
Acquisition of property.
Yes, literally they're acquiring it, yes. Just got a random phone call from Ken Medved there at New York State DOT. This is all related to the 2025 streetscape project. And they are looking to acquire approximately 90 square feet of the sidewalk adjacent to the box factory there on Liftbridge Lane East. We own the land under the box factory. So as part of the streetscape project, they are acquiring a right-of-way,
Mhm.
a right-of-way, which essentially, it's not an easement. They will own it.
They will have basically rights to access it. So you will still technically own it, but it's similar to an easement.
Okay. Okay. We will be, okay, so obviously we're all in favor of the streetscape project. We have to follow property disposition guidelines. So
Yep.
Ed's kind of doped it out for us that this is part of the 2025 streetscape project for the Village of Fairport, which we all endorse, of course. The New York State Department of Transportation will be acquiring the property. The proposed amount, they will actually pay us for it, but an appraisal will be conducted. It's going to be de minimis. It would be my expectation. But they do go through a full appraisal process. So let's see. We're not selling it in the open market. We don't have to advertise it or whatever. The New York State has the right to come in and acquire it without us conducting a public hearing. We expect the fair market value to be well less than $100,000, and therefore we don't have to advertise our disposition of the property as would otherwise be required. So tonight, I think we're just looking for the board to approve this acquisition or / easement right of way, subject to receipt of the appraisal and also our council's review.
Want to make a motion?
I will make a motion to do just that.
Want to make a second for discussion?
I'll second for discussion of a question.
Sure.
So this is basically, it's just a permanent easement. We're not selling that
Correct.
area.
Yep.
Okay.
But it's
They can use it. For
They
the
call it an
purpose of-
acquisition map, but it's an acquisition of a right of way.
Correct,
Is that
yes.
what it is?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. If
Thank
we have
you.
the right to use it for purposes of constructing, reconstructing, and maintaining the village street.
Okay.
We have the-
But it's still our land. But
I see. Okay, so permanent easement.
Permanent
Yep, I
easement,
see. Yep,
Okay.
thank
And they
you.
will then enhance it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
as
They have to
based on
maintain
the
it.
street
repair the
state.
sidewalk.
Yeah, and that's what we'll want to see in the final easement, that we don't have any obligation to maintain or do anything to it. So that's the part about you're proving it subject to my review of the easement and making sure all the bells and whistles are there. And that, if they do the work and the worker is injured, they're not going to come, the state's not going to turn around and sue the IDA for it. So,
Right. All right, cool.
It's my understanding there's many of these being done.
I would imagine there's a whole bunch of them. I don't have any issues with it.
Great.
Rob?
And that space has been, that space is the sidewalk. That space has been maintained by the village of Fairport to date, or the property owner,
And it probably still will.
Mhm.
the structure owner, I guess is a better way to say it.
It's the part right up near the building.
Right.
It's the,
If you look on page 12 there,
it's that little wedge.
it's that wedge.
Yeah. So no, I'm good with it as described.
Excellent. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Then we did the calendar and move to adjourn.
I'll move to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. So move to the URA. Even with half-hour discussion of the art, we are moving it. You are so efficient. I know.
Was it Jennifer and
You know,
Donna?
But
Was
don't
it,
forget this.
was
Yeah.
it Jennifer and Donna who did the
The adjourn?
adjourn? I missed it.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Fairport Urban Renewal Agency here on September 16th. Is there any public comments? Seeing none, we'll move on to approval of the minutes.
Move approval.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I would like to mention, I do draft the minutes and then send them on to Donna and Ed, and they both are very good with their comments back to me, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Cool.
Excellent. High five, Donna. Ed? Move into financials, resolution 2024-9. I should have been saying that all along. Authorizing payment of bills.
I have reviewed the URA bills and I would recommend moving for their payment.
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You'll see that we've made the final advance for Amblin.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Moving on to resolution 2024-9, the authorization to pay the section 8 bills.
So Martha, there's 2 invoices missing from this group. I
Oh,
just noticed that, it's the mileage and the payroll processing fees.
okay. All right.
They're probably missing, but those are within the range of the norm of what they normally are, so I would still recommend payment of the bills.
And based on that input, I'm happy to second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'll ensure that both Jennifer and I sign off on those particular resolutions.
Excellent. We'll go over the cash balances, financials.
This was prepared as of 8/31 on page 6, so I still had not drawn the balance of the loan commitment, but that'll be reflected next month.
Got it. Loan status report.
Everyone's paying as agreed?
The front porch grants.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Looks like there's only 2.
Well, there's 2 that have not been paid yet, that are in process. Going to be receiving 1 more this week. I have discussions. Do you remember the home on, was it Rose Lawn that burned?
Oh.
They're going to be reconstructing it, and he inquired about the availability of a grant, and I said, well, if it's a stoop, we can't help you, but if it's a porch, we can. So I asked if you want to make the application, you have to show me what it would cost you to build a stoop and what it would cost to put a porch. Well, actually, there's 2 porches, which is another discussion, but we'll have that at the time of the application, because it will be 2. It'll be a double, replacing what was there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But now we can point them towards specific numbers,
Yes.
minimum
Yes.
threshold.
Thank you
Cool.
for that. Yes. So still have some good interest. Had a gentleman come in this week. He'd actually, it was about a year old, the grant, because he thought he might sell the house, but he decided to retain it, and a family will be moving in there. It's next door to him, and so it's nice to have owner occupied,
Yeah.
or owner, where the owner's next door to the,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever. So, yeah, but he was great. He did the work himself. He did a nice job. So I do 50% on the materials for that.
All right, moving on to the Section 8 housing report. Hello. I forgot Kevin was out. We are at actually a very significant all-time high since maybe being in shortfall and all. We're still adding, and we probably will still go up just a little more until when we're done with Marketplace leasing up. We have 7 more to go on that, and 4 more for Midvale, which they're all kinds in the pipeline. It's just they're not leased up yet. Once we get there, we'll be 11 more, so we'll be really high, which is good. It cushions us for this shortfall thing, which now we'll start attrition, and hopefully not make it into the 300s at all. We'll probably stay in the 400s, which is good. It won't be so hard to come back from. Shortfall continues. I meet with them monthly. The last time I met with them, it sort of spans over months, so I can't remember exactly if I had talked about this, but they are not going to indicate exactly when we'll be out of shortfall, because they're still in the process of recapturing money from those agencies who haven't used it. So that's what happens first. If they go to the agencies that haven't used all their money, which is usually us, actually. People like us, we don't say we don't use 100 grand, they're taking. They give us a whole bunch of money in the beginning of the year. If we don't use it, they're going to take it. So they're currently recapturing. That way they'll know a better idea about how much they can split amongst all of us. 50% of the housing agencies are in shortfall. So we are not alone in the slightest. The one thing that, a lot of these numbers they're very good right now. So I kind of don't want to focus on the front page as much. We're up 12 from last month. We're doing amazing. And I knew this would happen, and I knew we would increase with the changes that we made, and it did of course work a little, very well actually. We spent so much that now we're doing very well. But I want to spend time on the fact that during shortfall, agencies normally are allowed to backfill when someone goes off the program. You can fill that unit or that slot. This year, there's so many people in shortfall, they're not doing that. But they are allowing us to continue leasing our project-based units. So as vacancies come up in a project-based unit, we can fill those because we have a contract with that company. Right? For 40 years, I have to provide units, so I can't say not. We also are allowed to develop and continue with the development process with project-based. So most of my narrative is talking about how I over the next several months want to, capitalize or maximize our PDD's abilities.
Right now, based on the allocation, we can have 149 project-based units. It's now 49 we have, wait, whatever, 2018.
Second page,
49 or 30,
38, right?
39,
39, yeah.
39.
Anyhow,
Any,
we can project base a total of, we have an RFP right now for 61 new, 61 vouchers, project-based vouchers for new construction. The state funding round is coming up on the 18th. All the proposals are due to the state. That's when people start getting their projects ready, getting them funded, and then they come to me for funding. Once they've gone through the state. Typically, it's usually when they go through the state process and have an award, they'll come back to us and ask for the project-based units. I think things are a little competitive right now, so they're actually submitting their proposals now. I received a proposal for Midvale 2, which is going to be, I believe, 8 buildings. Yes, 1 per building, 8 more buildings in front of the existing Midvale. They're bungalow style. So they asked me for 8 project-based units for that, which I haven't reviewed the proposal, it just came in. So right now, through board approval, we did put out a 61 available project-based vouchers. I'm proposing that we actually do a second round of 42 more so that we can get to our cap of 149. Lots of numbers, I'm sorry, I wasn't prepared for that. The new RFP that I'd like to do is for existing housing. That means that there's no rehab involved, there's no competitive source of funding involved, these are just existing units that we can project base. In order to prevent certain types of housing from getting involved. I can't.
too much.
No.
Too much.